Good morning, Tottenham fans. Many reports coming out yesterday that Atletico Madrid are now in the race to sign Christian Romero. But that for me wasn't the shock part. The shock part for me was Atletico Madrid were willing to pay 30 to 40 million euros. Now, for me, that's ridiculous. How did Romero go from being worth 150 million in the summer to now 30 to 40 million euros? For me, I don't think we'd sell him for that. I think it would be absolutely ridiculous, very bad business if we sold him on the cheap like that. He's still got 2 years left on his contract. He's a World Cup winner. He's one of the best defenders in the league, in my opinion. He's a very, very good player. 30 to 40 million. If we did that, I think Atletico Madrid would have the bargain of the century. So saying that, let's put this into context actually. Players 6 years ago, Harry Maguire signed for Man United for £80 million. Now, 6 years ago, now adding inflation, Romero's twice the player of Harry Maguire, in my opinion. It's subjective, I know. But if Harry Maguire 6 years ago was worth 80 million, then I'm sure Romero, minimum, we have to sell for 120 million. You got to think as well, Wesley Fofana, just 2 seasons ago, went from Leicester to Chelsea for 80 million. Just 2 seasons ago. Just last season, Lenny Yoro signed, I think, from Lille to Man United for 61 million. Romero has to be sold for a minimum of 100 to 120 million, in my opinion. He's an excellent defender. He's still got 2 years left on his contract. I think he's only 26, 27. He's still got 6 to 8 years left of prime, of himself being in his prime. So this, for me, if Atletico Madrid put in that bid, it should be laughed at and they should be told to go away because that is ridiculous. Levy has come out and said he's not going to sell him for cheap. I think he's put the ballpark around 60 to 80 million, which I can get more on board with, especially because of the 2 years he's got left on his contract, that if we let it run down to 1, it's going to probably drop even more. And if he lets his contract run out completely, then we're in trouble. But my question to you guys out there is, would you sell him? My thoughts on Romero are basically this. He makes a massive difference to our team when he's playing. Not just defensively, but on the ball too. The playing out from the back, he's very strong, press resistant. He can keep hold of the ball. He can play his eye for a through ball and linking up with the midfielders is brilliant. His defensive awareness is exceptional at times. There are times where, if I have to be fair, he makes mistakes. Sometimes I think that's because he's trying to play the perfect pass every time and he gives the ball away. Sometimes he lingers on the ball too much and sometimes he is caught out of position. But sometimes I think that's due to him trying to cover other players. Like when you see Porro playing and Porro marauding forward down the wings and not getting back, then Romero's got to try and cover Porro, which puts himself out of position, which really don't help. But all in all, Romero, for me, is an exceptional defender. If you watched him against Fulham, when we were playing, it was 0-0 when he was on the pitch. After 60 minutes, he was very dominant in the air, dominant on the ground. He was winning everything. As soon as he came off, it went a bit pear-shaped after that. There was a massive drop-off because I don't believe Archie Gray is nowhere near Romero in the standards of defending. He's a young lad, obviously, and it's not even his position. So it's not his fault, but Romero was a massive loss when he came off. So let's say devil's advocate, we did sell him. If we sold him, for me, it has to be a high price. We have to get a lot of money for this guy, and we'd probably have to sell him this summer because we can't afford to wait till next summer. For me, we should be trying everything we can to make him sign a new contract. There is rumours saying that we're offering him 200k per week, and it's pointed out to me by some of my friends that Real Madrid will probably offer 400 to 500k a week, and Atletico Madrid would easily offer around 300,000 a week. So whether Romero is going there for the money or for the success, it depends on the player. We can't speak for him, but if we're only going to offer 200k, his head might get turned. If we did sell him, let's say we got a good amount of money for him, and we didn't replace him with an excellent defender. So, in my opinion, players like Mark Gay from Crystal Palace is an exceptional defender, in my opinion. He would slot right in. Jarrod Bramfey is another brilliant defender, a young player as well. He would come in and do a good job. There's a guy, Houston, I think he's called, for Bournemouth. He's a very young lad, but he's a very, very good defender. If he came in, I'd be very happy. So, but if we were to just bring Vuskovic in, for example, and don't get me wrong, Vuskovic looks exceptional for his age, but he's not experienced in the Premier League. He's not even played one game yet. We can't expect him to come in and replace Romero. It wouldn't be fair on the lad for a start, and it just wouldn't be the same standard for me. You know, Romero is an excellent defender, so we'd have to, if we did sell him, we'd have to definitely replace him with somebody that's very, very good. But the problem we have, and you've got some Spurs fans saying, get rid of Romero, all he cares about is Argentina. That, for me, I don't buy that at all. I think he really plays for the badge. He puts everything into every game. We were complaining because he was too passionate, if you remember, when he kept getting sent off for going in for tough challenges. And we complained about that, do you remember? Because he kept getting sent off and he was seen as a liability because he was trying too hard for the badge. So, you know, we always keep changing our mind on players. Sometimes I think people want Romero out the door is because it's just they're trying to find things wrong with him and criticise him to soften the blow because they think he's probably leaving. But deep down, we all know he's an excellent player. So, if Levy, this is another question. Would Levy, if he got, let's say, 80 million for Romero, would he spend that all on another defender? In my opinion, he wouldn't. I don't think he would. If the rumours were true that we offered 60 million for Gay, then that's great. But would he do that? I'm not 100% sure. Would he try and find a bargain somewhere and buy like 20 million players? I don't know. I don't know with Levy. See, it's hard to be trusted, this guy. What we've got to realise is there's not that many excellent defenders out there. There's quite a few good defenders, but Romero is already a World Cup winner, very experienced, Prem proven. You know, it's going to be very hard to replace that kind of player. I think we're not going to realise what we've got until he's gone. He's just, for me, we need to do everything we can to keep this player. We'll see the difference now he's back. If he can stay fit and him and Van der Ven at the back, if they can play together at the back, watch the difference in our first 11, just having them two back. They've been a huge miss to us this season. If you don't rate Romero, just think about how bad this season's gone defensively without them in it. And yes, I've heard, well, we've had more clean sheets for Dragusin and Davis. That's because Ange adapted the system to play more defensively. We can play more attackingly with Romero and Van der Ven and win games 4-1 like we've been doing. So we have been conceding goals, but we've been scoring a lot more because they're so good at building up from the back. If he was to leave, I would be gutted. He's like I keep saying throughout this video, he's an exceptional player. One more concern I'd probably have is he does get injured quite a bit, which is quite concerning. So, you know, if we were to sell him, we need to replace him with top quality. If we don't, we're going to miss him massively. Let me know in the comments what you would do. Do you want Romero to stay at the club? Thank you for watching, and come on you Spurs.